15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Salutations, gamers. I am the OGG Game, and welcome back to Kerbal's Space Program. Now, when we last left Every time. Can I do one intro without flummoxing every word in the English language? My goodness. Anyway, when we last left off, I got the aviation research completed, which means we now have wheels, jet engines, well, the basic jet engine, not the larger one, and the radical intakes, and all this good stuff. So, now, what exactly are we going to do with that? Well, we need to do the next big step, which is going to take us an eternity. An eternity and probably 5 days. Now then, what we need to do is we need to get a lot of science, which I told you before that each of the areas here in the Space Center are all their own biomes, which is very unique. Very interesting, I guess I should say, or whatever. Anyway, so what that means is that we need to create a device which can go out and collect all the scientific data from each of those biomes. Now, it's going to be a little difficult because it's going to take us some time, but it shouldn't be too hard. It's just tedious. I don't completely want to do it, in the recording, but I'm going to do maybe some of it here in the recording, and hopefully I'll be able to get to something a little better in the next part. Hopefully. Anyway, we're going to call this the Psi. The Psi Mark III Rover. Psi Mark III Rover. And we do need some wheels, in case you were wondering. We're going to add those. We're going to use 2 of these fixed landing gear wheels here. And then 1 wheel here in the front for steering. Looks good to me. This is probably going to fail and die miserably. Actually, you know what? We might bring that up a little. Let's do an angle snap. And bring you up just a bit here. I think it should be okay, because this will lean forward on itself, but do we want it to lean that far forward? Probably not. Right about there, I think, maybe. Yeah, I think that should be good. That should be, probably... Goodness me, I can't talk at all. That should probably be good. I really need to stop recording so soon after all that exercise, but... Oh, yeah. Brag some more, John, come on. Nah, but seriously, it makes me flummox all my words because I'm all tired and stuff like that. Anyway, so, yeah, this should be good. Oh, there's one other thing that we need to worry about, which is who is in our crew. We do not want a pilot. We want a scientist. And here's the reason why. A scientist can reset the experiments, which means we can go out and get all the science at one time without needing to do it over and over and over again. So, we'll send this thing out, collect science from a biome, reset the experiment, collect the data, then reset the experiment, go to the next biome, and then from the next biome, we'll collect more data and do the same thing, again and again. So, we're going to save this, and this should work perfectly well to collect all the scientific data. Now then, first thing we want to do is apply brakes, and just make sure that we have all the science here. So we can get a little bit of science from here, just a bit, not too much, not too little, just a bit. But every bit of science helps us. So, temperature. We can reset that because there's nothing to get from that. We're going to take a crew report. Nothing. It's fine. EVA report. Nothing. Oh, right, because He's flying right at the moment, technically. Let go. Oops. Let go. There we go. Let's try to get an EVA report from here. Oh, we do. Get an EVA report. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to collect data, remove data, and restore. Collect data, remove data, and restore. Now, it's very important, take this and store the experiments. Then you're going to board. You're going to board. There we go. We're going to board. Now we're going to undo the brakes and we're going to go somewhere. Okay. So first we want to activate the engines, of course, and get this thing rolling. Oops. Don't want it to go that fast. Now you want to be very careful with this thing because it can break very, very easily. Very easily. We want to be giving it only very minor adjustments because there is some serious incline here. Okay. We gave it a very wide angle in the back here, so hopefully it'll be okay. Give it a little bit of a thrust there. And while we're rolling, why don't we take a report here? Good. Just like this. Because we got a little ways to go anyway. Just gotta be real careful not to kill ourselves. Okay, we're gonna brake. And hold brake. And if we zoom out here, you will notice that we are... Where are we? We're in this area, I do believe. So we're going to hold it there. Now we collected data from out there, but that's not the data that we necessarily want. So did I already take a crew report? I do believe, yes, I took a crew report already. That's good. So the only thing that we need from the biome on the outside of this area is an EVA report, which we can get. But we just have to remember to get it later. Now then, we're going to go EVA here. Okay, and let go. Good. And collect all of this data. Cancel. Take data. Collect data. Remove and restore. Remove and restore. Get an EVA report. Good. Observe material. Observe the goo. Keep data. Collect data. Remove it. Restore. And we're going to do the same thing here. Observe. Good. Keep. Collect. And restore. And log temperature. Keep data. Good. Store the experiments. So we did get a temperature, mystery goo, material study. Okay, grab. Hold on. Wait. I do believe I already got an EVA report, but just to be safe, let's check. Keep data. Store. Not all items can be stored. That's fine. F grab. Board. Dump it because we don't need it. We already have it. It's fine. We're going to get a crew report from here. Crew report. Overwrite existing crew report. Cancel. Hold on. Seems we already have a crew report, so what we're going to do, once again, we're going to get out, EVA. We're going to take the data, store the data, and board. Then hopefully we should actually be able to get a crew report from this. Yes. Okay, good. And if you don't understand what I did, basically, because I already had a crew report from out in that biome over there that I had not taken out and stored yet, he was holding on to it, or something like that. Something to that level. So, it's weird, I know, but they're storing it, and then it's their science can be either connected to an object or stored in an object. Usually that object that it stores in is a capsule, but it can be collected and then stored. But if, say, you take a crew report, you have to collect it and then put it back in it to store it so you can take more crew reports. It's weird, I know, but it's how it works. It's strange. But let's get a bit of a thrust going. And make our way over to that facility over there, I think. Looks pretty good. Get ourselves over there. Now then, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 areas to head off to. And then a EVA report from out here, and we should be good. Now we're almost there. We're going to turn ourselves as much as we can, because we want to go there as soon after as we can. So we're going to get ourselves a little bit this way. It's a bit of a push and start to brake. Okay, hold the brake. Good. Alright, so this is going to be pretty, I don't know. Might be a little boring this episode, a bit tedious, but I'm working as fast as I can. Okay. View data. KSC. Keep data. Hold on, there seems to be a problem there. That's fine. Crew report. Overwrite existing crew report. Of course, there seems to be a problem with that. I must have overlooked something, but that's fine. We can fix whatever's going on. Take data, log temperature, and keep that data. Store that. Take data, store, select data, remove data, restore, store, select data, remove data, restore, store. So sometimes you'll forget things, like right here you see I can't store an experiment because I already have the exact same experiment stored. But that's fine, that happens. It's better to be safe than sorry, you know. So, take another one of those, and store the experiment. Take a grab here, and board. Dump. And I wonder if I can take a crew report here. Yes, I can. Good. So we'll have to remember that we need to remove the old crew report before we can take another one. There we go. So we're going to get ourselves a move on and get ourselves situated over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a wide turn. We're going to go over this way and then try to angle ourselves more that way so we can get out without going down all these ramps, which could potentially kill us. Ooh. It's a little bumpy there, but that's okay. Okay, good. So, we have our way out. Good. Brakes. Perfect. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to EVA immediately this time. Log temperature, serve material, collect data, restore, take data, same thing over here, serve materials bay, keep, hold on, oh, come on, collect, remove, and restore. EVA report, keep, store everything into here. Take and store, have to grab, board, and do a crew report. Done. Okay. We're getting lots and lots of science, which is good now. This is, like I said before, going to take us a while. I don't know that I want to get all of it done this episode. Oh dear me. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't very good. That's fine. We're okay. We didn't blow up. We didn't blow up. Good. It's very good. We didn't blow up. Alright. So, once again, EVA. And I think I'm going to, just for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do all of these. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the crew report out here that needs to be done. What is that? Debris. There's debris over there? Okay. I wonder if we could recover that. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'm going to do an EVA report. Take data and store data. Log temperature. And since we're going to go back this time, we don't have to worry about collecting this. We're just going to get it. Make sure we got everything. I think, yeah, whatever. I already got that. So, board. And crew report. Done. And we're going to recover the vessel. Now, if you go out, I would highly recommend doing every single... Oh, look at that. 78 science right there. We can get a ton with that. If you're going to do this, though, make the exact pod that I made, and go out to each of the locations all at once and get all of the science, if you can. Now, if you're not very good at maneuvering rovers, then do as much as you can, but don't be a little too hasty. And if you're worried, do a couple at a time and get the science from that each time. I split this up into 2, so I might actually, on my own time, finish up collecting all this science, and then we'll have a lot of science to work with in the next episode. But for now, I'm going to take the science that we got just now, go to the research department, and research some new technology that we can use. We can get advanced rocketry, which I do believe we're going to need. And the reason why is it has the Terrier liquid fuel engine, and the Terrier liquid fuel engine is one of the most important fuel-efficient engines that you could ever have. On the ground, it has absolute bollocks thrust, but it uses very little fuel when in space, and is very, as I said, fuel efficient. You want this. Now then, it also gives us bigger fuel tanks, which is helpful, very much so. Now, general construction could... Again, you don't have to do this the way I'm doing it, obviously. You can do this any way you see fit. In fact, you could have gone to straight... well, you couldn't have gone to heavy rocketry because you didn't have the advanced one, but, I mean, technically, you could just go from here all the way up to heavy rocketry without getting any of this other stuff if you didn't want it. Or you could go completely down this other path. It's a tree. You can go any way you want to go with it, as long as you know what you're doing. Now then, so now that we have this, I do believe we'll be able to create an orbital ship. We're going to attempt to go to orbit this time. Now then, so we're going to load a spacecraft. I do believe I have my Orbi. Which one? Let's start with the Orbi Mark 1 and see what that one looked like. Okay, so here was the Orbi Mark 1. Now, one of the major problems that the Orbi Mark 1 obviously had was quite simply, it did not have the Terrier rocket engine. It had this, which I tried to use as a replacement. It didn't work because it just wasn't as fuel efficient as the Terrier was. So we're going to use the Terrier, and I might actually use one of these. I think I will. Use one of these. And we're going to use this. Actually, you know what? No, I don't like that. It's a lot of fuel, but I don't necessarily know that we need that much fuel. So, we're going to do this just like this. That should be plenty of enough fuel to go to orbit. And if there's any more problems... yes, we do have that, good. And if there is any more problems now... This, since we've already made 3 marks, this is technically the Mark 4, so this is Orbi Mark 4, which is good. This should work. I do believe in this. I completely forgot how to zoom out. Oh. With shift. Why was that not working? I don't know. Anyway, so we have this. I do believe everything is in its proper... No, it is not. Again. Goodness me. Okay, so we want that to go first. That to go next, not at the same time. That to go off. This. Then, of course, that at the very end. We want that. So, we're going to get that and put it at that. So, now you can see very clearly we have all the parachutes at the top. Going last, we have this to release the capsule. We have the Terrier rocket fuel engine. That and that. Okay, yeah. So everything should be good. Now, we're going to save that and we're going to launch. Now, I do believe this should work just fine. Now, what we have to do, very carefully, we don't want to put on our SAS. What we want to do is we want to max out thrust, launch, turn over about 10 degrees, and let it follow. And hopefully it should... I'm going to fight it a little bit because it wants to go wonky. I don't want to fight it too much. But I'm going to fight it a little bit here because this thing wants to just fall over. It's a little top-heavy. It's a lot top-heavy, actually, but that's okay. I can control it. Hopefully. Now then. Okay, as we get higher and higher, it shouldn't be as much of a problem. In fact, I do. Yeah, there we go. I do believe I can turn the SAS on now. Just like that. And I'm actually going to lower the thrust now that we're at about 400. That's good. Good. So, we're making an attempt into orbit. Now that once we hit about 13, yes, I'm going to bring this down. As you can see there, this is ripping up on the rocket a little bit, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And we're going to hold it right about there, hopefully. And now that we're going about 600, we're going to bring this down a bit more. And the meters per second you can see here, our velocity is still rising, which is good. We want the velocity to still be rising. Now, if we check the map, you can see here that our apoapsis is rising as well. I think we want to get to about, 30, right there. We're going to let this just burn itself out, and then we're going to ditch it and use the Terrier for the last bit. Okay. So we're going to go at a horizontal angle here, and we're going to fire off, just like that. And this is going to, hopefully, bring us into a stable, low orbit. Okay, yeah, you can see here, it's very fuel efficient. Okay, we are burning through atmosphere. Might be a little low. In fact, I think we're quite a bit low. Usually, a stable orbit would be about 70,000 meters. But that's not what we're doing, I guess. I decided to go extremely low. Now, this is probably not going to end well at all for Jebediah. Jebediah is most likely going to die. In fact, I believe he's going to die very quickly. But I tried to get you as high as I could, Jebediah. I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to try to angle this up, maybe to save it, maybe not. Oh, looks like Jebediah is dead. Well, we have failed in our mission, Jebediah. I am terribly sorry about that. Okay. So, well, we attempted the orbit anyway. We're going to revert the flight back to the vehicle assembly. And this time I'm going to make some changes here. Some major changes. Mostly to the top half here. We're going to get rid of No, we're going to get rid of all this junk. And what we actually want to do is we're going to try and attempt... Hold on, let me find this. Good, we're going to get a heat shield on there. This time we are going to get only the pod. Only the pod. That's all we want. We can get the pod, that's all we need. That's all we want, and that's all we need. This is the Orbi Mark V. This rocket, its sole design is to get us to orbit. That's what we're going to do. And I promise you, I am going to get this dang thing to orbit. That's probably a promise that I cannot keep in this episode, but I will attempt it. Don't worry. It will happen. So, everything should be in order as I intended it. Yes, everything is still in working condition, just like it should. Turn this over just a little bit. No, you don't. Stay right about there. No. It wants to roll on me. Don't let it roll. No. It's still a little heavy here. Wants to flip over a lot. Now, I could go back to the vehicle assembly and work on the design a bit and try to get this thing more stable, but as long as we stay relatively close to the aerodynamic, the wind here. This bubble here basically is showing you where wind pressure is pushing you, in a sense. I guess you could put it that way. Again, lower down here quite a bit. As long as we're accelerating, we're fine. We're going to keep it about at this angle here, and try to get ourselves as high as we can. Now, something I do need to do is I really should be trying to just look at this. And the reason we do that is it just helps us to conserve as much fuel as possible to get us as high as possible. It's just a little something I like to do. You don't have to do this. You can blast yourself off into space at whatever speed you want, I guess, but, you know, that's your playthrough and not mine. So. Let's see here. We are getting ourselves up there. We are accelerating quite a bit. We want to slow down. Oh, careful. We want to make sure we are still going up. We just don't want to go too much thrust and waste too much fuel all at one time. Now, in real life, rockets have only two modes, go and stop. And that only accounts to their thrust. It's go and it's stop. There is no, you can't tell a rocket in real life to have, like, thrust limit. You can't determine how much thrust it has. It just has thrust and it has no thrust. Okay, we're still going up pretty far, which is good. That's good. Okay. How far? We're about 35, 36. Good. Let's just burn up all the rest of our fuel there. We're going to turn this over a bit. Right about there. Fire off. Hopefully we didn't miss it. Good. Want this to keep going up as far as it can. Good, okay. So we don't need to go too high here, but we do want to get a fair bit higher than what we are. Now, I do believe that the numbers here need to be about 2,500 meters a second, something around those lines, will be a stable orbit. Okay, this is getting pretty high here, so we can start to flatten this off a bit. As you can see there. Good. Good. Okay, we're going to cut that a bit as we get closer. Okay, we want to angle this back up. Fire again. Good, that's good, alright. Oh, crap, we completely ran out of fuel. Again? Really? curses. Foiled again. Well, I did try. Okay, so one of the major problems we're having, obviously, is that we are running out of fuel way too quickly. We do have the Terrier engine, which is helping us conserve a lot of fuel, and it got us a lot farther. And like I said before, yes, it actually is 2,500. I assumed that, but I was really hoping for 20. We made it pretty far. We almost made it. To that number, which would have put us into a stable orbit. And it doesn't... It wouldn't have been the best, obviously. The orbit would have been very low still and quite dangerous, but we would have brought it back immediately. All we have to do is get it into the orbit and immediately out of the orbit. So, that was a problem. Now, I'm going to make some changes here, and one of the first ones I want to change... Ooh, there's 2 on you. Weird. Anyway. Okay, so, first change I want to make is we're going to... With that, I want more fuel. So, I'm actually going to put the Terrier onto this thing now. But, in saying that, I'm also going to get rid of a bit here. So, this is the Orbi Mark 6 rocket. And save that. And I am hoping that this one works, because I would like to accomplish something in this episode. Something other than what I've done, which is nothing. So, I'm gonna let this go, see how well it goes. This is gonna fall right into the ground. No, you do not. It wants to fall over every time. Hold you right about there. You don't, mister. You stay up. Now, there we go. I want this thing to stay up as best as we can get it to stay up. Hold on. It wants to roll. It really does, but we're not going to let it. I'm going to... Oh, you know what the problem is? I know exactly what the problem is. I can't believe I didn't see it before. Anybody that knows anything about this game is probably freaking out right now. These tail fins. They were one of my biggest problems. Goodness me. Can't believe it. I'm already at the Mark 7. That's how much failure I have created for myself. Tail fins. I can't believe I had tail fins. Tail fins, they are the devil. When it comes to this. Anyway. Right about there. I'm going to put SAS on just for a little bit here. I might not have enough fuel now. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have enough fuel because of that. Let's go back. Hold on. Yeah, I don't have enough fuel. Yeah, I can already see I'm not going to have enough fuel, so I'll put another fuel pod on there. The one that I already took off, for goodness sakes. Okay. My goodness. I am not thinking clearly today. Not at all. Alright. Look at this. Now we're at the Mark 8. This is how this game goes. Once you get into the later stages of the game, this is your life. Just... What went wrong? Oh, this minute thing that I completely just disregarded for, like, just a minute? That's what went wrong? Oh, okay. Yeah, fine. Great. Love it. Now then. I think this is enough fuel. This should stay pretty stable. It looks pretty stable. Without the tail fins, it is now not being forced to roll constantly. Which is good. I don't have to fight the dang thing all the way up into space. Now, something I'm having a serious problem with at the moment, though, is I still have yet to upgrade my orbital building. I'm not really sure what it's called. I can't remember the dang name, but I do have to upgrade this one building. The observatory, or whatever it's you want to call it. Okay. Now we want to get down about there. Okay, good. good, good, good. We want to make sure that we are creating some kind of a curve to this. We want a curve. It always shows the opposite end of the dang planet. That's not helpful to me. We're going very fast, so we can turn this down fair ways, all the way down here even. And it's still going plenty fast. Now then, we're at 25 at the current. And we're going to speed this up a bit. Slow that down again. Speed it up. And we are really getting up there. We're getting up there pretty far. Oop. Okay, good. You want to go right there. Launch. Good, just like that. What that's going to do now is that's going to raise us a bit here. Raise a bit more, maybe, actually. We are making our way. We have lots of fuel this time. Speed this up. You can see our velocity rising a fair ways there. Okay, good, 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 good. We are going up into orbit. We're ready, on standby to cut all engines. Okay. Now what we want to do is, this is pretty dang high. All we gotta do is bring her around, which is going to take us a while, in all fairness. Now, this is going to go down, don't worry, because we're still pretty low in the atmosphere, but now it's going to come down a little bit. And then we're not going to get this some kind of perfect circle or anything. When we get more advanced equipment, we can make, all kinds of nice, fancy, perfect circles and everything else like that, but that's not our goal at the moment now. This is just orbit, which we have yet to do. Test flight. Civil. Yeah, I did those a while back or something like that, I forget. Probably did it in the last episode or something. Now then, I'm currently going as fast as I can warp. Once we get so far, we need to get to the Apple Apis here. Apple Apis here. Apple Apis. It's not an easy word to say. And we need to bring our periapsis? I think it's periapsis. Out. And I think they switch at some point. Now you can see our velocity here going down, but that's fine because once we get about there, it really won't matter all that much. Now, we're going to, let's see, right about there, which is pretty good now. We don't need a lot of thrust, just a little bit. And this will bring us out, just like that. You can see? See it? Once that switches, it should bring us into a stable orbit. We are currently in orbit right now. Good, see? Contract complete. Good job. Orbit Kerbal, which is good. Looking great. Great job. Now that we've done that, all we gotta do to get out of this place is go there, full thrust, get the hell out of Dodge. But before we do any of that, let's get a little bit of science here, because we can still get some science. So we're going to get a crew report. Space near Kerbal. Curses. We're not... well, that's fine. But something we can do, while we're doing it, we're going to do this EVA report. That will get us a lot of stuff. Just above Kerbal's grasslands. Oh, right, yeah, if you get an EVA report in space above different regions above Kerbal, you can get different science from the biomes, which is good. Now then, we're going to board. Okay, so now what we need to do is, like I said before, launch ourselves down. So, doesn't really matter where, just down. So if we do it here, that would probably be the smartest maneuver right there. Because that's at our highest point, I think, something like that. I forget. Something like slow or slowest here or something. I forget the exacts. Anyway, so bring out our thrust, and you can see there that we're going down. Now, hopefully we don't burn up all our fuel doing this. We technically have quite a bit of fuel, and I might actually technically be able to get a encounter with the moon with the amount of fuel that I have now that we're out here, but we don't need to worry about that just yet. We don't need to do that yet. Now, actually what we want to do is we want to bring this down, believe it or not, to only about 30,000 meters. Right about there, and we're going to cut it. And you see, I have actually a lot of fuel because it only takes like a teeny bit of thrust to really do anything once you're in space, because, you know, there's nothing holding me back. There's no friction or anything like that. There's nothing to stop me from going anywhere. Now, because we are going down there, we can just speed this up. And once we get about there-ish, we will... Okay, yeah, so you see, now that we're going down there, we are going to eventually... Yeah, so we're going to go back here. We're going to get rid of this. Bye-bye. We don't need it. It's fine. So, this thing will, again, it will maneuver itself into position because of the aerodynamic forces applying themselves to the rounded bottom here, which will push the air upwards along it and keep it centered once it starts hitting air, which is good. I don't have to, you know, hold anything to this. Now, getting this thing to land is going to be something else. Mostly just because we have to get it under a certain velocity, which is not going to be easy. Once I get it under a certain velocity, I'll be able to release the parachute. Did the parachute break? No, I think the parachute's still good. Safe to deploy. Unsafe, yeah. I'm going to keep this up just in case there's a moment where it's safe to deploy, it says, and I'm going to deploy the chute as soon as it says. So this is a way to, you know, in case you're wondering about, like, when will it be safe to deploy my chute or something like that, you know. Now, the reason that we came in at about 30,000 meters is because we're going to float. We're going to go against this, and it's going to slow us down a lot, so that we should land here out in the desert. This is, oh, we're almost there, almost there, almost there. Almost there. Safe. Good. Okay. I was a little worried about the speed, but then I realized that we are actually going at 4 times time warp. It was a bit worrying to me, but we did it. And we orbited Kerbal. Good. Isn't that pretty successful right there? And we got some science from it, we got some money from it because we accepted our contract from it. Look at that! We have 63 science right now, which is good. So I'm going to buy something here. I'm not sure what yet, but I'm going to buy something. We have propulsion systems here. What's this? The Spark liquid fuel engine. Spark might be pretty good. Fuel systems, we can have external fuel ducts, which will help us do some like asparagus staging. I don't really like to get into asparagus staging. It's a little complicated. I mean, it's complicated and it's really cool if you can do it right, but it's also kind of hard to get it to function all the right way and stuff like that. You know, I don't think I'm going to get into that. This is just aerodynamics. I don't really care about that. Landing, we might want. Ooh, yeah. 50% of the structural integrity. That might be helpful, actually. Landing is something we might want to do. Space exploration, hitchhiker, the barometer, a device for collecting air pressures. This could bring us more science, mobility enhancer, minimization. Ooh, which means we can actually start doing space stations, which is a good thing. We do want to eventually build space stations. And electrics. Ooh, electrics is something also we want if we want to build space stations. We can't get it, though. We can't get any of these, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like it. So, yeah. Do we want any of these? You know what? I think we're going to actually not do that. Just for the moment. And we're going to try to get some more science for now. We're going to go to mission control instead, though. And see what kind of missions they have for us. Unfortunately, nothing much except for tourist and stuff like that. There's no active, archives, escape the atmosphere, blah 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 blah. So, yeah. Well, we'll come back to this, see how it all goes. So, yeah. I will be seeing all of you in the next episode. Bye-bye! Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked that video, make sure to hit like on it and share it with your friends. Otherwise, hit subscribe for more awesomeness from the channel.